Welcome to a video. It's been a little while since I made these, and I figured I'd get back into it. Um, yeah, it's exciting to get back into these kind of things. And here's just a little trade recap of today, June 10th. A little bit of mental note history about this day. I am currently on a lucid evaluation, and I need 3K to pass. And I have been, at least today, I can for sure say that I've been just purely focused on the money target 3K to just get it and get it over with. So much that I just try to reassure myself, and I'll get more into it later, but I really just protected my brain, I guess. And I ended up risking less, which didn't work out. Um, but it's coming from a place where I've just been, okay, let me hit the 3K, let me hit the 3K, which is not very healthy. And this is kind of steering off of, you know, me kind of last week. I was doing the same thing for Top Step because I had an account that was basically expiring. I was about to get billed another 95, and I was like, nah, let me try to pass in like 3 days. And I literally had 3 days, and it was in drawdown. So the account was already in drawdown, and I had 3 days left. So I was like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna full port my way. So I was taking a whole bunch of BS trades. I mean, they weren't, not all of it was BS, because and that kind of helped me, like, it helped me flip a switch. That as long as I have direction, the entry can be as retarded as possible as long as it makes sense. And not retarded as in I'm just entering off of nothing, but kind of like Elijah type trades. And context for that, I don't know if someone in the public sees this, Elijah is someone on Inter Equity Group that just sometimes his scalp trades are like, they make sense, but it's like, what the hell? How you even thinking about that? And that's the kind of entries I had. But it worked for the first 2 days. I got 1,500 and 1,500, and then for the last day, because I had to get out of drawdown, I ended up blowing the account because it was such a bad choppy day. And I knew even before trading, I was like, okay, this is gonna be horrible because the price action looked disgusting. The market as a whole, it just looked buns. Like, it was at a point where I'm pretty sure it was shorts were the answer, but at the same time, like, the spot it was just at, like, there were a whole bunch of trapped buyers, so nothing was gonna be clean. So it was just a whole bunch of guessing that day, and I ended up blowing that eval. So it was what it was. It was fun doing it, I can say that, but you know that habit kind of like I don't want to say it carried on, but it wasn't good for me to break rules constantly, like day after day, and trade not like trade not how I normally trade, if that makes sense. It kind of messed me up because it's not going against my rules, and it's kind of getting comfortable in that, trying to get comfortable with going against like, being what a good trader is. But if you really break it down, like, being a good trader is really just focusing on your system, and staying disciplined to your strategy. And that's what I've shown a bit today, but I have not at the same time. I definitely didn't show disciplines here, and that's kind of a little thing to reflect on as I'm recording this. So we can go ahead and get straight into it. Yeah, so this is the trade. Oh, my screen is frozen. How great is that? Good thing I have my stuff right here. I gotta remember how to do this. Okay. Can I do like a reset? How do I do this? Filters. No. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Properties. Oh, there we go. Restart capture. Boom. Okay. Yeah, so this is the trade. You're gonna hear my mouse clicking a lot, so get used to it. This was gold, and yeah, this is my entry. I did it on minis. I had like 7 minis. But this was my entry. I had literally the extreme. I was like, if I don't get in the extreme, I'm not getting in at all. And I got the extreme trade on futures. Not futures, but on micros, it was more like this. But I did that, and price came down here. And once it came right here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll my stop, because technically I was vulnerable. And look at the price came higher and took me out. Which, okay, like, I rolled my stop, and I'm glad. You know what? I'm actually happy that I predicted a reaction, because before me learning the strategy or learning the system as a whole, I wouldn't have ever thought that this would make price come back and take the highs out. And price doing that, now it's just like, it's kind of cool to see now. But unfortunately, it did it today, and then it stopped me out, and I missed out on this whole move, which is so crazy. This would have, I would have been out about like right here, and I would have had a lucid account. But I'm not here crying about it or having FOMO. Of course, at the time I was having a bit of FOMO, if I'm being honest, but I wasn't crying about it or anything like now. I'm not crying about it or anything like that. I'm kind of saying it like as it's whatever. But it did suck, if I'm being honest, because I had a perfect entry, and then I missed out because I rolled my stop prematurely. I should roll my stop like right here, or I see, okay, there's liquidity here, I'm seeing price add more, maybe I could roll my stop a bit, but even then, I still kind of premature, but as you look at this, like, okay, price grab all this liquidity, and you look at the market as a whole, which is something I should have done first. I should have showed you guys the market as a whole. We're coming down into this area, and this is just the past day. We thought maybe we can go bullish out of here. Well, at first we thought maybe we go bullish out of all these places, if I'm being honest. But coming to this last day and seeing this, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, price wants to run this low for sure. And that low ended up getting targeted. And so looking at that market as a whole, it's like, oh snap, right? Looking at this build up, price came into this area, POI above. That's the easy short, back down to all of these lows. All right, so that's that. And as price is right here, I tried to find an entry. I really tried to, and I couldn't. I could not find anything. There was nothing here, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna miss this move. I was already being pretty retarded earlier. Let me just go in short. So I kid you not, I went into micros. I put 2 contracts on, and I just went short, and it was around this area. I can't really say when. It was just around this certain area, and I put my stop at the high, because I really had faith in this, and it ended up working out perfectly. So yeah, I mean, this is something I would do, go on micros and just put a contract in, knowing, like, having so much confidence, everything's gonna fall in place and follow the higher time frame. It's not a reversal or anything like that. Like, you got grab straight liquidity, tap to a POI. Like, what else can you do? But go the direction I want you that I think is gonna go in. So I just had immense confidence. And I was like, okay, bro, I'm not just gonna let this slide. So, ended up doing this. It was like 800 something, and then price ended up falling, pushing lower to that area. But yeah, that was pretty much a trade for gold, and I was disciplined in the term of actually holding my position all the way to the extreme. I easily could have just exited. I could have been that trader, but I don't know. Like, I just decided not to. I don't know. Yeah, it's just I could have, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Of course, I don't like being that person, but Let me explain this POI as I'm here, but you know, it's just some things to just you just gotta learn from. You know, just be disciplined to your system, and it's actually refreshing seeing such a perfect entry model. We even had left liquidity to the lows. Like, it's really refreshing seeing a perfect model, you know, after all of this crappy price action that I've experienced for the past couple of days, for the past couple of weeks. You know, this was the first, like, okay, this is definitely, you know, like, my eyes, I've been training my eyes literally for this moment. Like, bro, so I just couldn't miss out on this move. And even there was even continuation to target the full lows that I didn't end up catching. I was a little busy helping some other people out and helping out for other organizations I'm in. But there's even a breaker structure, and then we grabbed the sellers, and then price started pushing lower. And you can grab these guys and actually short from here. Boom, continuation right here, and then you can hold this toward. I mean, at this point, I'd be break even because I know this could happen. So I would have broken even. But after breaking even, seeing this, I'm just like, okay, how the heck can I continue out of this? Price, boom, does something here. We respect, we continue lower. Boom. Here we go. It's one something, but probably enter here because I'm skeptical about it or whatnot, and then continue our ride lower. It almost hits, and then you can still bang this out. Practically the same trade twice, but these are some of those things, and that can still even rock, because you're risking what, 13? You're risking $38. You might as well, risk like what, 100 or something. You bang you a nice little trade right there, and that's beautiful, bro. Like, what can you say about that? Yeah, this is very interesting. Yeah, great price action, just beautiful. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that recap of today. Long story short, took nice shorts, even though it wasn't, all the short weren't too disciplined that I caught. Everything's just a stepping stone, a learning stone, and just don't roll your stop loss. I'm also doing these. I might do these videos a lot more often, because not only would it not waste my storage and I'll upload it to Notion, but I need to have evidence. Not only have evidence, but I need to clearly see what am I doing, because over the past couple of weeks I've been doing very not really good with trading, and I hate saying that word, trading. I hate saying, but I have not been very good with the markets, and like, I have nothing to go back and learn from. Like, why did I even make these mistakes? I didn't really have nothing to reflect on, which is a huge issue, and I feel like these things could have been dealt with a lot quicker if I just reflect on those issues and realize, hold on, I had this whole bad week simply because I got used to doing this, or I had this whole bad week because of this, or I can't find something to pinpoint. It's kind of, but I've been so focused on just getting better at my craft and the system, and really trying to get better at staying disciplined, that I just forget sometimes the small stuff, and I won't even be able to know what the small stuff even is. But now, with these videos and going back on Notion more, now I can have something to kind of back myself off of, and make the right decisions while analyzing and stuff like that, and talking things through with the videos and stuff. So this will be a very good help, and it also helped me be more articulate, because I really need help with that. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the recap. Adios.